Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Someone gave the money, someone gave the technology, someone gave the planning, someone gave the logistics. Is it one or more countries? All this and more as we try to explain to you all the fast-moving developments today. First, please like this video because there's a new angle that we are going to be exploring, and do watch us to the very end. Let's welcome our guest of the evening, Sumit P. Sumit ji, namaskar. Welcome to PGurus channel.
Sri sir, namaskar, pranam, vanakkam, sadhuwad. Always a pleasure, sir.
Sumit ji, I'm going to give you an uninterrupted session here, floor here, because there's a lot to cover. We can start from Iran, because Iran is now fast coming out to be the person who is like the main person who's got together all these different things. They tried to land a plane in Damascus airport. Israelis just went and bombed the heck out of the airstrips there. To Aleppo as well as Damascus, I believe. Both the air landing strips were taken out. And I think now they're saying the Iranian plane's destination is unknown. Maybe it went back to Tehran. We don't know. But this is just one drop of what is happening. Take it away, and I will let you finish and then come back with a few questions if I have any. Over to you.
Namaskaram, sir. Sir, in the name of Lord Sree Ganesha, let's do the Sree Ganesha of this telecast. Now, the first and the most important thing is, sir, this is a cocktail of disaster, what has been brewed. And there are a lot of players which are involved. First of all, on PGurus channel, we're the first ones to say, look, Hamas cannot pull this such a big thing. Hamas ki auqat nahi hai. Hamas cannot pull this. The way it was done, the sophistication involved, the weaponry involved, the control, command, coordination, project management, one after one, the element of surprise, the element of keeping it under the wraps. Do you think jihadis of Hamas can do it? No. Let me break one important thing to all our viewers. You know who were these terrorists who carried the attack? None of them have been old recruits of Hamas. They are all young recruits of Hamas, new recruits. Now, how did Hamas pick them up? I have done some research and I asked some contacts around. Where did they find such a mass of these jihadis and terrorists? First of all, these jihadis and terrorists were they identified in last 20 years in Israeli strikes or wherever, which house got the maximum casualties, vis-a-vis deaths or wherever. Now I made a list of these houses and they got their boys. So they already had a hatred for Jews, they had a hatred for Israel. So they recruited them. Most of them, 99% of them are fresh blood. They were fresh recruits, 16, 21, 22. I remember one of the videos which I saw wherein one the recruit says, look, we were taught to kill, rape, even rape children. He says even rape, not women, rape children. I mean, that is, and kill everybody. That is rape and kill, rape and kill, rape and kill, rape, kill, capture. That is what we were taught. So that is where this breed of terrorists comes from Hamas. Now, there was even what I call a smoke screen wherein there's some weapons were tried to be smuggled from West Bank into Israel. Now, and suddenly the Mossad was busy there. It was a smoke screen wherein Jordan, West Bank, then some weapons into Hamas. They tried to create a smoke screen. Don't tell me Hamas can create this. No. So there was somebody who was guiding Hamas to do it, right? That's point number 2. Point number 3, beheading of the children happened. PMO of Prime Minister's Office of Israel confirms it. Mr. Joe Biden gave a statement where he confirmed beheading of children, burning of the children alive, when they were still alive, they burned them. So this beheading, this burning of the children, it is not an aspersion we are casting now, it's a confirmed news. They were carrying ISIS flags. When they were doing all this, they were scaling their support to ISIS. So was it a mixed cadre where some fighters borrowed from ISIS? Is there an ISIS hand? Yes, there's an ISIS hand. Brutality has crossed what ISIS has. So ISIS flags have been found, especially where the children have been killed, where the people have been massacred. ISIS flags will found, tons of them. So ISIS kind of an execution is here. Now, world eliminated ISIS. We all know how did they eliminate ISIS, and they have to eliminate Hamas in the same way. Now, some people ask me a question, and they've been DM me. I'm getting a lot of DMs. I'm getting a lot of mails. People asking me, why should Israel punish the Palestinian public? Are bhaiya, these recruits came from the public. Where did these recruits come? They came from the public. And Israel has a strategy like this. There's a building standing right here. They will put the missile here, and here. What will happen? The whole building will collapse. Why are they collapsing the buildings? Because they know beneath this building, beneath that mosque, beneath that, first of all, these buildings are owned by Hamas terrorists and their leaders. Beyond it, there's a network of tunnels. When the building falls, the network of tunnels automatically gets crushed and crumbled. So the network of tunnels gets crushed and crumbled. So this is what Israel is doing. What is happening now? Right now, a unity government will be sworn in. And after the unity government, that is the consensus government, will be sworn in. After the consensus government is sworn in, what will they do? They will give a go-ahead to do the Gaza, military invasion of Gaza. Well, friends, unfortunately, the military invasion of Gaza is going to be bloody. We will lose some of our brothers and comrades, I would say, of Israel. They will be lost. They will be lost because it's a kind of a guerrilla warfare. They'll be lost. And my information tell me that a lot of these people have been anticipating this. And there's going to be a big surprise when Israel enters Gaza. This is what my source tell me, because Hamas has banked this. And you will see one more thing, Sree sir. With a lot of these bombings, you won't see a lot of people getting killed. If you see the devastation, if you see 2,000 attacks by Israel Air Force, and if you look at the number of casualties, itna sa hai, hardly minuscule. Why this is happening? Because people have been evacuated, they have built bunkers, so they have been preparing for this. And they knew that Israel will do the ground offensive, so they have prepared for it. So what holds for Israel is a very tough battle. And what do these Hamas guys tell you? They tell you, you enter the Gaza, Israel, IDF will be alone. So they have fully prepared. Then as the number of casualties are less, that means they have been evacuated, they are in West Bank, they are somewhere. And where is Mahmoud Abbas? Mahmoud Abbas has gone to Russia. Mahmoud Abbas has gone to Russia. So this is how the developments have unfolded. This is how the situation looks on the ground. Last 2 hours, I've been on a couple of TV debates and all as well. So the things are changing more than what you can track. It's are changing at a rapid pace. Now there is this jihadi called Halai al-Alali. He has I forgot the name of his militia. I tweeted that. Now he has 500,000 fighters. He landed 2 days back in Lebanon. So we are talking of 100,000 men of Hezbollah. Now we are talking 500,000 men of his 6 lakhs. Now we are talking 40s. They are also armed around 100, 200k men. Then we are talking of other. There are other Kurd force and others who have also said we'll fight for Hamas and Hezbollah. Now Hezbollah has already started the barrage of rockets which are landing on Israel. Now we have fronts hitting up from Lebanon. We have Syria coming in, and the most important thing is there was a very clear and direct statement by America saying, look, our aircraft carriers are not for Hamas. It's a direct warning to Iran. And General Lloyd Austin has directly warned Iran of anything. Do not try to get into it anything. So Iran is itching to get into this war, right? So this is how the situation has come. Now, as I looked last time, now Israel has 750,000 ki sena. They have 750,000 men. With all the reserves they have pulled in. Even 95-year-old people are holding a rifle. I've seen pictures of a mother holding a baby, and on the other hand, she's holding an automatic assault rifle. Ek haath mein bachcha, ek haath mein assault rifle. This is the situation. Everybody is armed. Israel has distributed guns, and Israel has distributed, when I saw, lost more than 20,000 guns to the civilian volunteers. Who want a gun, you can go and get an automatic rifle, because now these jihadis, these terrorists have crossed all the limits. They have crossed all the limits of humanity. And let me tell you, sir, the fuse has been lit. The fuse has been lit. The clash of civilizations is imminent. It's only a matter of time who starts it from where. Unfortunate but true. And if I look at what did the President Donald Trump said day before yesterday, he said that, we are at the cusp of a World War III, and this time it might be nuclear. So things are changing at a very rapid pace, except UAE and Bahrain. All Islamic countries are supporting terrorist Hamas, and all Christian countries, and we as a Hindu country, are supporting Israel. The world is into 2 parts. And if you look at the statements of some of the US senators, what have they said? It's a religious war. It is literally turning to be a religious war. And where is the ITU today? Where's the G20 today? Where's the G7 today? Where is UN today? Where's BRICS today? Where's SCO today? All those equations have been got polarized like this. And if you look at some of the predictions of Nostradamus and all, this clash of civilizations was imminent. Only there needed to be a tipping point. And this has been the September 11 of Jews. And what does the Hamas Charter tell you? Hamas Charter tells you, Hamas Charter, official charter, tells you you have a right to butcher a Jew as and when you find him. Now, what is India doing? India stands with Israel. India is not trying to broker peace. India has started Operation Ajay, where we are trying to get out all our people. Before joining this, I was on a TV channel, national TV channel, and I was trying to argue and appeal to all my fellow Indian brothers and sisters. Bhai, so far none of the Indians are killed. But please leave Israel, because the window is very small. The way it is escalating, shit can hit the fan anytime. We might not be able to extradite you, because Ministry of External Affairs has done all the calculations. That is why it's a 5, 7, 10 day problem. They will not do such a risky operation to extradite people. Now, Dr. Jaishankar, Arindam Babchi, the ambassador there, everybody is saying, please come, please leave. As some of us are so stubborn, ki nahi, aisa kuch nahi hai, and all that. I was on a debate. I had this mayor of Echelon. I think it's Echelon is the state. The mayor of Echelon was on the panel, and he said that what I am doing right now, before going to my military duties, I am trying to get food, water, and all, making sure we send to our soldiers. And he also expressed the same opinion that the entry into Gaza is going to get bloody. And he told that on the panel, and I showed him that we as Indians, me as Indian, and million and a billion, more than a billion of us, we stand with Israel, to tooth and nail. To the last breath, we stand with Israel. We oppose this terror. She said the fact remains, we are facing the same terror from our neighbors. They are as brutal as these guys. Nothing has changed. In the last 1400 years, the brutality, the quantum of brutality has not changed. It exactly stands there. The same concepts of Islamic terror and Islamic jihad are even being used today. What world has woken up to the reality is that, centuries can pass by, but the mindset cannot change. Now, in this complex arena of undercurrents and whirlpools which we see in the Middle East, what is happening? Who are the main players? Who are the main players who have emerged out? And then I will bring to the last and keep the last for the best as usual, not as for anything else. You have to understand the whole equation, because I take you to the main villain. Who is the main villain? Let's first pick up Iran. Iran's involvement is almost there. There is no doubt upon Iran's Revolutionary Guard is involved. Iran's intelligence is involved. What happened with Iran? Sir, Asim Munir visited Iran. Irani generals visited China in the last 1.5 months. To do what? What was Asim Munir doing in Iran? And now this Anwarul Haq is going to go where? Anwarul Haq is going to go to meet China. When the Gaza was burning, Mahmoud Abbas was meeting Russia. So you can see the issue. Iran is there, Iranian hands are there, Iranian intelligence is there, Iranian footprint is there. Ismail Haniyeh meeting Khomeini, it is viral. And today one important thing has happened. Some time back, there was a press conference where Mr. Anthony Blinken was there and Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu was there. Benjamin Netanyahu said one important thing. Anybody who is supporting, funding, or giving safe havens to Hamas or its leaders or its terrorists is a terrorist or is a supporter of Hamas. So they are directly hinting at Lebanon, they are directly hinting at Qatar. So these are the people where these nefarious characters are hiding. Not even that. The number one recruiter who is parallel to Hafiz Saeed of 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏, do you know where he was a couple of days back? He went to meet Hassan Nasrallah in Lebanon, Beirut. Hassan Nasrallah, head of Hezbollah. So Pakistani hand, Iran is there. Irani footprint is there. Who was coordinating? Who was training? Where did the arms come from? Where did this happen? That is Iran. Now, second, Qatar. Qatar, aap to jante hi hai. Where is Ismail Haniyeh? He's in Qatar. Who is funding these terrorists? Qatar. Who has given money to them? Qatar. And who is threatening? Important point, which has not come in the media, you will come to know in some time. Qatar has been calling European Union and has been trying to threaten them. Okay, look, if you meddle too much with and you help this too much Israel, we will cut off your gas. Now, when Qatar has been unofficially doing this, when the people started hitting them back, they are trying to duck now. They are saying, oh, this is done by UAE. This is done by propaganda handles of UAE, but the fact remains, sir, I've got it verified. Qatar is trying to unofficially threaten the European Union. Hum tumhara gas kaat denge. We'll cut your gas. And this dhamki might come even to India. This dhamki will even come to India, or maybe it has already come to India. I don't know about, but I know for European Union they have already done this. So Qatar's support for these terrorists is very, very, very clear now. Giving them safe havens is very clear. Now I want to ask one question. How did United States of America allow a FIFA Cup to happen in Qatar? And Qatar is a very big ally of US in Middle East, one of the bigger non-NATO allies, and have a base there. How is Qatar playing the both sides? You have a US base, you have a FIFA World Cup, you're allowing them to do a football, and they are keeping Ismail Haniyeh. Very good. Great diplomacy. Now, after Qatar, let's move to Turkey. Now, when we talk of Turkey, Erdogan has already started crying foul. Bhaiya, kya ho gaya? Peace, peace, peace. What peace, Erdogan? What peace? You want to save Hamas? You want to save these terrorists so that they can come next time? Sir, Sadat's involvement is very, very clear. Arms corridor, facilitation and smuggling of arms were facilitated by Turkey. It's very, very clear. There's enough evidence now out in the open media. And Erdogan's support is there, but Erdogan is confined by, this, Erdogan is confined because he's a part of NATO. He cannot, he cannot come out in the open. When ISIS was active, sir, who gave a free passage and corridor to ISIS? Erdogan, Turkey. Where was ISIS oil being sold? It was sold under Turkish borders. And you know who was the biggest dealer of Turkish oil, sir? Erdogan's son. Erdogan's son was the biggest dealer. Ab bataiye. Now, this character is a jihadi. He's a jihadi by all corners. And these people are highly, highly radicals. You had a point to make, sir.
Yes. Approximately 6 years ago, we wrote in PGurus.com about how Erdogan's son was making money, those days ISIS controlled Mosul, which had a lot of oil fields.
Correct.
And they used to take that thing and they would bring it all the way down to Mediterranean through Turkey. For that, they were collecting a hefty amount of commission. This is Erdogan's son. Then what would happen is, this would come into the oil tanker, which is not licensed to sell to anybody. They'll fill up this thing in an oil tanker. It cannot sell to anybody because it is not on any manifest. No country is going to get it. So what they were doing was, they would just go into Mediterranean, fill up the whole oil tanker, go on Mediterranean and keep on making big eights. If you can imagine a ship making big eights, a 50 miles ka bada circle, 8 crore. And what they would do is, every oil tanker today, according to the rules, they have to have a transponder that will communicate to a satellite, this is where my location is. Because if there is an accident, if there's an oil spill, the world can immediately come and correct it for a good purpose. You know what they would do? They would turn off the transponder. Half an hour point, they'll turn off the transponder. So they'll get a 1 hour window. In that 1 hour window, they'll have the small barges that will come in, and then they'll siphon off from this tanker into that barge. And then the barge will go off. And then they'll come back and say, oh, we had some technical difficulty. That's why we could not communicate. Bullshit. This thing happened for years. And we have a very detailed article about this 6-7 years ago. My good friend, I don't know if he's still alive, poor man. He was suffering from some very bad illnesses. But he was writing splendid stuff for PGurus.com. Go back and look at this thing, Erdogan's son, his role. It's in PGurus.com. We'll try to pull that article up for you. And please continue. So I just wanted to say how far back PGurus had predicted all these things happening. Back to you.
Absolutely. Bang on, sir. And who is this? What is the name of this son? Billal Erdogan. And Billal Erdogan has supported and funded all the propaganda against India on Kashmir. He has supported JNU. He has supported Tugde gang. He has done anything within his reach, within his awqat, to dismantle or to destabilize India. That is Billal Erdogan for you. So here is Sadat, here is Billal Erdogan. Now from Billal Erdogan, we move to something very important. Now we move to a player which is the main player behind the scenes. People's Republic of China. I have been telling, sir, कि इसमें China का हाथ है, China is involved. I have been telling to educate people. I've been shouting my lungs out, Red Jihad, where Reds will do the funding and these fukras and these useless countries, Islamic countries who are bankrupt will do the dirty work. Now, I'm going to come back to Iran because there's a very serious angle on Iran. Now, what is China doing? Now, if you know, There is, Sachin ji can show my Twitter handle also as well as I put it, this poster there. Now, there is this Liang steel factory. The rockets used by Hamas. The rockets used by Hamas. You know where are they made, sir? Liang steel factory. It's in Shandong province of China. The marking is of a Liang, factory in the Shandong province of China. As you know, friends, the rockets are not made. You cannot go and buy the Loha from the Loha Mandi. They have to be made to order. This is a casted steel which is made to order. It has some parameters and all that. It has to be made to order. So this is the marking of Liangdong Steel Factory, and it is made Shandong province in China. So do not tell me for the sake of God, Chinese did not know where the rockets are going, because this Hamas rockets have a specification. Let's say I need 1 meter, I need 6 inches or 8 inches of diameter. There are technical specs which come off of this barrel. This is a very sophisticated thing. So China's hand is there. That is the first proof. Second proof, I was always wondering where did these hand gliders with the pankha come in. There was these hand gliders with the pankha coming in. I also tweeted one more video. The hand gliders and the pankha, again, Chinese PLA has demonstrated this. There are factories in China. I have also given you the website. It's on my Twitter handle also, the website where you can get this. You can go to the website and find exactly which has been used there. So the Chinese have, there's also Twitter on my Twitter handle, Sachin ji can also show you. Now there is also this Chinese second angle which has involved. Third Chinese involved. Let's complete this and I'll go to the third part. No, this is the people who have been burned alive. We have to scroll down a Sachin ji a bit. Yeah, this one exactly. Now you see these are PLA soldiers demonstrating this. There is also in the link I have given the website where you can go and find this. This is again a Chinese supplier. This ghastly what were used, so-called Hamas parachute brigade. The equipment came from China. So there is also one thing you have to know that these are all Chinese characters. I can't read them. So there is also this website I can give you. I think even on the Liangdong Steel Factory, I've given the website. Here also I'll give the website. So there is, yes, this website, 552kg.com. If you can, So this is where the website is. So rocket barrels, I call them barrels, China. These hand gliders, China. So both came from China. And let's remember, friends, where did the North Korean, these rocket RPGs or these rocket launchers end up in Hamas's hands? How could a North Korean weaponry, which is completely sealed country and a territory, end up with Hamas? So without China's involvement, this could have not happened. So this is China. Who mobilized Pakistan? Who asked Pakistan to do it? Who mobilized? Whose mobilization did the SSG do it? Where did the ISI get involved? Where did the others get involved? We'll talk detail in the Pakistan program. But these are some elements which are also hinting you to how China is getting involved. And what China doing? Aankh bhi band, muh bhi band. They are not talking anything about it. Even they are not condemning Hamas violence. When Benjamin Netanyahu went to China or Chinese premier came to Israel, I was warning that day, Mr. Netanyahu, don't play with the fire. These people cannot be trusted by anybody. They don't even trust their own kind. How can you trust them? So China's hand is very, very, very clear, right? Now, secondly, now when we talk about the third part, with this elements of happening, now China has been propelling Pakistan and all. Now we come to the fourth player in this. We have discussed North Korea, we have discussed Pakistan. Now, what changed the game? So let's conclude what have we said so far. Iran is involved, China is involved, Pakistan is involved. We are talking of Turkey, we are talking of Qatar. A new axis of evil, wherein China is the kind of a power backing them. Now what we have, Pakistan, bankrupt country. Paisa nahi hai, gone. Lebanon, bankrupt. Lebanon's 80% of the people live in below the poverty line. Below the poverty line, 80% of the Janta. You're the second highest inflation in Lebanon. Number one is Erdogan. Again, same. Erdogan bankrupt, China, this Turkey bankrupt, Lebanon bankrupt. North Korea, we all know. China's economy, how fragile it is, all know. Pakistan, though, what do I tell you? You know it better than me. So all these Bhikkharis who are desperate for money, who have no money, is funded by China to cause havoc. Why would China do it? China wants to destabilize the IMAC or this Indo-Middle East, Indo-European, Middle East, American corridor. They want to disrupt it because it was an alternate to BRI. Why BRI? because Chinese have put $1.5 billion in BRI and 10, 20 years of work which will go down the drain. So they wanted to disrupt it. And when the Chinese economy tends to stop, they will go all hammer and tongs. They will go to any extent to stop the world's economy. Why did Ismail Haniya meet? Ismail Haniya meets Khomeini just after Asim Munir went back from Iran. You see a link? A lot of people ask me this question. Why the world agencies could not track it? I told you that it will not be tracked if it is in North Korea or China. These are the two countries where a lot of agencies are opaque, especially North Korea. Now, if you join the links, you can see that North Korea and China, how are they involved? Why the world agencies could not track them? And by the way, I will come to it later, but that's an interest. That's a fun. We'll come to it later. So this is how the things have moved. This is how these countries have got involved. The excess of evil has been made. China is using all these bankrupt countries to rally and disrupt the whole world. You want to point me the point? Jesus.
Yes, I just pulled up that article. This was published, I think, in 2015, guys. 2015. Okay. In those days, Turkey was also fighting and they downed a Russian plane too. This is Billal Erdogan. Okay. This is Billal Erdogan that Sumit had mentioned. Why I'm saying all these things is, look at how far back PGurus had gone. And we have been talking about these things. Geopolitics was our first big story. And my friend Henry D'Souza, if you are watching, God be with you. Henry is born in Goa. He migrated at a very early stage to Kenya. He represented the country of Kenya in hockey as well as cricket. Then he located and retired in Canada. And he became a writer. And if you go and look at this particular article, we'll put the link in description section. You can see his articles. Because it's not just one article that we said this is going to happen. So this has got, a long history. And it also shows the duplicity of Turkey. Today, Turkey is on good terms with Russia. But they actually in 2015 shot down a Russian plane.
Correct. One pilot was killed. One pilot survived somehow.
So there are a lot of things here. We will also give you the link to all Henry D'Souza's articles in the description section. You can read them because it gives you a perspective. It's not like 1 year, 2 years. So I just wanted to tell that to our viewers. Also, there is one other interesting development that has happened. The Global Imams Council. This is a body of Shia scholars. They have also come out in support of Israel. This is a responsible body. Imam Tawhidi, you may know this person. He's settled in Australia, a good friend of mine. And he has actually written a letter of about 50 imams. This is also out on the internet. They have all said what Hamas did was wrong. So now when a scholar, Islamic scholars comes and imams come and start taking this stance, it becomes a little bit harder for other countries to come through. Also, last one before I get back to give you control. In the assets of Iran, up to 6 billion could be frozen. Can you just put up this picture, please? I had met Tawhidi in 2019. Here is my picture with him. I can tell you, I'm sitting to his right, Dr. Subramaniam Swamy to his left, and the other is my good friend Anurag Saxena. So this was an event, 𝗏𝗏. It was in New Delhi in February 2019. So it's about 4 years old. Let's get back to what is happening with Iranian assets. I just want to give you a quick perspective from US point of view. US has said that it can, in fact, still freeze the assets of Iran. The assets are actually sitting in two countries, Qatari bank and a South Korean bank. And they said the withdrawal from these is highly regulated. Where that money is being sent is being tracked. So there is an option still open for US to refreeze these assets. I'm just telling you that this is something that's going on. Of the 32 student organizations in Harvard, which said that they stand with Hamas, 5 have retracted now. Nepali Association, Ghungru, which is Indian Classical Dance Association, सब थोड़ों की तो screw बिल्कुल loose हो गई है. That's all I can tell you. बिल्कुल loose हो गई है. So 3 more have also come out of this. I mean, goddamn it, there's what are you smoking? Can't you understand what is really going on here?
My God.
Yeah. So this is where things stand. US is decidedly trying to ward off anything to happen on Friday. It's basically a warning. 1 lakh people coming and all that. Don't even think about it. That's what they're trying to ward off. So we have to wait and see what else happens. But there is going to be some backlash. At the same time, reasonable-minded people around the world, now is the time to speak up. That's why I talked about the Grand Imam Council gesture. That 50 imams, they are spread. They are a Shiite group, as far as I can tell, because Imam Tawhidi is a vice president in that group. And he is as moderate, as good a friend as I can possibly get. I met him only once for a couple of hours, but you can tell when somebody is, everybody has a right to practice their own religion. It's when you try to, paint outside. This is the statement, 𝙒𝙖𝐸 Governing Board. 1,470 Muslim imams and scholars from all Islamic denominations and sects. It's an Islamic seminary of Najaf, Iraq. So Iraq is also trying to change its stance a little bit. At least, this group has said that we don't stand with Hamas. So guys, just keep watching PGurus, subscribe to our channel, and we are giving you things even as they are breaking. I mean, there are some of us who are burning midnight oil here. We may not have a fancy graphic. We may not have a fancy anchor, but we have the data. If you care for data, this is where you should come. Back to you, Sumitji.
Yeah. So with these developments, I think President Donald Trump yesterday asked Joe Biden, why don't you the money has not gone to Iran, why don't you still freeze the money? So with all these things going on, now the question is, we know the angle which I'm going to bring in now is the most important angle. We know Middle East is a whirlpool of undercurrents, what I told you. Nothing settles in Middle East. The father, the son will come, the grandson, it keeps on going. So what changed this paradigm? Who is trying to lit the fuse? Who is trying to have these Christians and Muslims fight? Who is the villain behind it? We know China is facilitating it. Red Jihad is a reality of today's time. You have to really, really watch for people's revolt. And then silently watching. They're watching the tamasha. And I told you, why is Mahmood Abbas gone to Russia? Because China is nothing, is zero without Russia. If Russians are with Northern China, is like that the dog who will put his tail in between the legs and run away. Exactly, that is what China is. But if Russia is on his side, that way it becomes a force. Now, if you see after Mahmoud Abbas's visit to Russia, there's a slight change in the Russian stance. Russians are saying now, we don't want civilian casualties, we don't want this. We also stand for the rights of Palestine. We believe in a Palestinian state. They have condemned, their stand, which was 100% pro-Israel, has slightly, slight inclination higher. It has changed a bit. So this change in the diplomatic stance, and they are saying that the US's Middle East policy has failed and all that. So that is why Mahmoud Abbas has been running to Russia. I told you he's not there going to say hello and goodbye. He's trying to tilt Russia's opinion somehow to Palestinian state, because Mahmoud Abbas knows this time his kingdom or feudom in the West Bank will be also gone, and it should go wrong, honestly. And here, Pakistani Anwarul Haq is deciding to go to China to do what? To do what? Now, today, when we had I think today or yesterday, when we had the UK's foreign minister land in Israel, his plan was also targeted, but nothing hit him. And the place he landed, he had to hide in a bunker because the rockets started coming in. And this time, there's a statement from Hezbollah, sir, which I don't know how far it is true. I know they have around 15,000 surface-to-air missiles, which we talked last time. They are talking about we have 150,000 Katyusha rockets, chote wale rocket, those small rockets, 150,000. I really don't know is it true or not, but if it is true, the hell is going to break loose, because then nobody can stop Israel. Because if this Iron Dome cannot intercept this, if you have 150,000 Iron Dome, Israelis have already asked Americans for the batteries, and America has landed its contingent and all. This is a very important point. Al-Halali with 500,000 men is important. And with all these things happening, these people behind the shadows are playing a lot of games. And Saudis are, kind of supporting Palestine but not opposing Hamas. So even MBS is in a very tricky situation. If he goes all out and supports Israel, he will have a revolt within. So there is this tug of war going on. So with all these developments happening and very fast-paced developments, and as we are doing this, I don't know how much has changed on the back end. I have to go and check, right? Now, I will tell you one important thing. We all know this. What changed Middle East? There is one person who has changed and who should be held responsible, which no media is talking or no media dares to talk except us, who is held responsible, who is the real villain? Villain kaun hai? I've told you all the countries, they're not the villain. There was a gentleman in the name of Barack Hussein Obama. Now you will tell me, what has Obama got to do with this? Why are we getting Obama into this? I'll tell you what Obama has got to do with this. Look, in Obama's tenure, we have discussed on PGurus channel, how did he bring up China? He made China the biggest Frankenstein of United States of America. That is Obama's creation, we all know. Obama did one more magic, which people know. Before Obama, there was a cap on Iranian oil production and exports. I think it was 3.5 lakh barrels, 3.5 lakh barrels per day. Obama came and he became very liberal. Barack Hussein Obama, pura naam. He became very liberal with it. He said, no. Well, I'm pulling up all these restrictions. We will do this deal with Iran. When you remember when Donald Trump came to the office, he said, this is all crap. We don't agree by this deal. So what happened that time? Iran was left with $4 billion of reserves. $4 billion of foreign exchange reserves. That was what Iran was left with. By this time, Iran would be eating sand, literally sand. What did Obama do? He opened the doors. Let's be liberal. Let's have this discussion. Let's have a nuclear deal. Let's have all this. And you know what did he end up doing? Iran has $80 billion of reserves as we talk. Somewhere between 60 to 80, somewhere around 80 if my memory serves me right. $80 billion. Imagine if Iran was on $4 billion. By this time, everything in Iran they would have become with due respect to Somalia, they would have become a Somalia. But Barack Hussein Obama, in his tenure, cultivated two Frankensteins. One is China and one is Iran. And who's on the list here? Iran bhi hai, China bhi hai. Dono hai. On our heading, we have both. We have Iran, we have China. How did Iran from $4 billion got $80 billion? Obama. You know how much of oil could then Iran sell? Iran could sell 4 million barrels a day, from 3.5 lakh barrels to 4 million barrels a day and higher. So money started pouring in. And all these years, Iran used that money. Khomeini is still alive. Khomeini did his deed. He met Ismail Haniyeh. He gave them all the support. And now, as the evidence is emerging, the person who is the sutradar, who is the epicenter in Middle East is Iran. Now, Americans have woken up and Lloyd Austin is saying, I'm warning Iran. And America is saying, I will send the aircraft carriers not for Hamas. They are saying Iran. Look, Israel can handle all these militias. But what if Iran, Lebanon and Syria jump in? If Lebanon jumps in, it will never be able to stand again. 80% of your people are in poverty. If you jump in, you would go into stone ages. But that is where jihadis end up. Lebanon, remember, was the only Christian-dominated country in the Middle East. Last 40 years, Lebanon is changed into Arab Muslim. So they have converted Lebanon into Islam into 40 years. 40 years, sab khatam. No more Christian. Even Christians are fearing for their lives. And unfortunately, I have some serious information to share with you. I have some source-based information. Whatever Hamas tried in Israel might be tried anywhere else in the world. So Friday call for mobilization, where we are telling all the Arab countries, we are telling all the militias to invade Israel and to do some similar kind of activities. You know, our borders on the highest alert. You know, Indian Energy, Marcos, BSF, everybody is on the highest alert. Our intelligence are having a sleepless night. Something like Godhra is a possibility, and even much bigger than that. So this call for ittifada is a global call for ittifada. It's that the war, decising war. What is called ittifada is a decising war. There's a global call for ittifada. Agencies are tracking it very, very seriously. Wherever you in the world are, I told you, I was the first one to tell on any media. This is a model which is being tried to invade the smaller countries. Because if you can do it in Israel, you can do it in so many European countries. You can do it in so many provinces and states elsewhere. So this is a model which has been manifested by some of the smartest crooked brains in the world. This is not a terrorism attack. This is a 26/11 of Israel, much bigger than that. Israel is only the laboratory. Israel is the laboratory. Remember, the Chinese virus came from China, and the Hamas virus is again being facilitated from China. China is involved in this, and Iran is involved. And who's the main villain? Who cultivated Iran? Who cultivated China? Who is the person who made China rich? Who is the person who made Iran rich? Who is the person who let Iran, who was dying? Because if you have Iran dying in the Middle East, Saudis are still controllable. Their MBS is a refined man. So you will not have such a problem. Who is supporting Hezbollah? Where does Hezbollah get the money? Where is Hamas getting the money today from? It's Iran. $80 billion of Iran. It is $80 billion. The people who survived on $4 billion today have $80 billion. And you know, there was even a car bomb planted on an Israeli diplomat in Delhi. And you know, there was an Iranian hand in it. We know that it happened in Delhi. There was an Iranian hand. And there was one of the few Indian guys who were also involved. So my fear is that this kind of activity, my sources are telling me, is planned across the world. This Friday is going to be something to watch about and to be very, very careful about. But that is what I have said. Somebody has lit the fuse. Now it depends how long is the fuse and how long is the length. Friends, if you are somewhere in Israel or somewhere in Middle East, and I have one caution, I'm not saying warning, I have one caution for the people of Canada. Watch out. Canada, my sources tell me, is going to be tricky. Especially Canada is going to be tricky. I also have friends there, and this is all what all can say. I can't share much, but I know Canada is going to be tricky. So, and things, you know, unfortunately, all of you who have not faced this, they think the sab theek hai, you know, all is fine, yaar, kuch nahi ho raha. But you don't know when shit hits the fan, how much does the shit spread? It spreads like this. It is very, very dangerous situation which is brewing in. It's going to be a clash of civilizations which is brewing in. And do you think these Islamic terrorists are going to stop? No. Even if you hit them, you whack Hamas, and new Hamas will come up, and new breed of terrorists will come up. And this time, the patience of the world has run out. Patience of the world has completely run out with Islamic terror. And if they do one more thing, they do one more action like this, it is going to be very, very, very tricky. And my sources tell me Indian diaspora in Canada has to be very careful, especially in Canada. I'm warning you, especially in Canada. And you guys living in the Middle East and all, be very careful. Watch out. Don't think everything is okay. And I hope and pray for the sake of God. Mahadev Kare, I'm wrong. I hope and pray everything is right. But my duty, my job is to warn you what is going to happen. If history will find a villain, who screwed literally American interests and who created a lot of this clutter in the world, a lot of these ticking time bombs in the world, it's Barack Hussein Obama. And you've seen how he's behaving. And you've seen how Democrats are close with the deep state. You know, oil prices have gone up, arms prices are going up, pharma companies here have started rising. You know, this is a deep, deep muck. But Obama forgot one thing. The deep state, if you talk of Rockefellers, if you talk of Rothschild, if you talk of Larry Page, if you talk of all these, they're all Jews. And you cannot slaughter Jews like sheep. If you slaughter Jews like sheep, there is going to be a bigger retaliation. Guys, history has a villain. The villain is Barack Hussein Obama. He's the one, he did this misadventure with Iran. He's the one, he did this misadventure with China. Now, in this scale of things, pull out Iran, pull out China, there's no money. In this game of Sree, sir, if we pull up Iran, we pull up China, there's no money. Hamas and Hezbollah have existed, and they would have, gone and fired at a couple of guys, did a car bomb, what they've been doing. Israel knows how to handle it. But who is putting this big bogey on Israel now? And let me tell you, Iran has a substantial firepower. I think Iran has more firepower than Saudis and Jordan and a couple of UAEs and all put together. Iran has secretly developed a lot of things. Iran has a lot of weapons and a lot of weaponry. Sir, I'm telling you with a lot of conviction at my command, from China and North Korea has moved to Iran. You wait and watch. You will find North Korean weapons, you will find Chinese imprint on Iranian weapons. They've already reached Iran as we talk. And that is why America needs to send the second combined battle war group. That second battle war group to this. And somebody asked me a question, why are they in Mediterranean? This important question. Why are they in Mediterranean? Why are they not on the shore of Israel? I told them, look, now Iran is within the hitting range of America, but these American assets are not within the hitting range of Iran. So that answers the question. A lot of people will have this in mind. Let me clarify it in advance. So I think we are also hitting the end of time. Who is the villain? Nobody is talking about Obama's role. Nobody dares to talk about Obama's role. And now Obama is giving statements. Oh, we condemn. Where is Arey bhaiya, you created Iran. You created China. What the hell are you going to condemn? To do what? You did what you were supposed to do. You really have screwed the world and the American interest. She said.
Thank you so much. And a couple of things also. See, there is no clear, good, bad here, in the sense that every country seems to have some bad actors and some unintended consequences. Immediate neighborhood in India, watch what is happening. The ambassador of Palestine wants to address a meeting in Kerala, and the MEA has given permission to him. Guys, you have to draw a line somewhere. Who is the ambassador of Palestine, and why does he want to go to Kerala?
Nobody.
And why are you allowing? First of all, why are these ambassadors being allowed to say whatever they want? Does the Indian ambassador come in US and say anything? Does the Indian ambassador go to Canada and say anything? They have every right to say, especially when Indian diaspora people are being attacked. Do they say anything? How is it that India allows all these people to paint outside the borders, outside the lines? And very, very sad that India or BCCI or ICC should have done this. ICC should have condemned any idiot who's saying we are with Hamas. You are down in India to play the game. Keep your personal comments to yourself. Keep your mouth shut. Play the game and go. This is what they should have said. Yeah. I mean, Sumit, there is one Pakistani commentator who had to go out, who was asked to leave in a hurry, and people are not telling the real truth. She was trying to honey trap a cricketer.
Correct, sir. The cricketer himself complained that he's trying to honey trap me. And she's trying to, I will be direct, she's trying to lure him into a sexual, intercourse and all, where then, what are these, sir, who are these Pakistani commentators? What are these girls do? They are goddamn honey trappers, sir. They are walking, talking honey trappers. They send girls to honey trap. Why are these Pakistanis dying to get an Indian visa? They want to come and do the same shit here. Now, Pakistan, ISI runs the biggest network of these literal whores, I must say, to honey trap. Now, these are some koi commentator ban ke aayega, koi journalist ban ke aayega. Some will be some. I'm trying to control my words because I'm angry. They're trying to do something, but again, idea is honey trapping. It is Hindu hatred and all is the only bahana. When the cricketer complained, I think Pakistani team and I think Sri Lankan team was in the same hotel where it happened. Immediately she was told to leave. She was going Niccolo, and she is the daughter of a Pakistani politician. Let me tell you also that she's the daughter of a Pakistani politician. You see how Pakistan cultivates its assets and new generation. This is what they do. And Middle East, sir, मैं आपको बताऊं, it is going to be tricky. Americans will not send 2 aircraft carrier, these combined battle groups for Hamas. Come on. Somebody thinks it's for Hamas. It is not for Hamas. And this Iran and Hezbollah are itching, sir. I'm telling you, they're itching to join in. And if they join in, then there's no control. I mean, it might be a radioactive desert for till eternity. Forget a man. They're not even a speck of grass can go there. That is where it is heading. I hope and pray it doesn't go there. My pratna to Mahadev, it doesn't go there.
Yes, indeed. And let's take a few questions because we need to finish sharp at 1 hour, because we have another program in half an hour after that on Pakistan in Hindi, and that's going to be in much more detail, guys. So do come back for that one, a totally different topic. Karthik Viswanathan wants to know, sir, why Saudi wants to cut off ties with Israel if one can draw credible conjectures of many other state actors involved wanting to sabotage IMEC?
Sir, Karthik ji, China is trying to sabotage IMEC. I have been warning you. I have been predicting this. This will happen. I didn't think that it will happen through the Hamas and at the life and brutality of Jewish children and Jewish women. I didn't hope it will happen that. But you have to understand one thing. If MBS tries to side with Israel, his opponents will take him over. One brother putting another brother in jail, one brother killing another brother. It happens in Middle East. It happens in the Islamic world. Look at the history. The succession in the Islamic world has been always bloody. It doesn't happen. A lot of his stepbrothers and cousins and all, MBS is put in jail. And if he sides with Imran, they will get the power automatically. They will put him in the jail. And he might not even be there. MBS, personally speaking, I have a better opinion on MBS than a lot of these Middle Eastern guys. He's still trying to do something. And some people claim, one credible source told me MBS is an ex-Muslim, but he's not announcing it. That's what some people told me. And this person is an ex-Muslim.
Next one, please. Kushan and Keshav wants to know, Sumit sir, even if Israel succeeds in capturing Gaza and destroying Hamas cadre, I'm sure they'll regroup again with support from Syria, Lebanon, and Iran. Why did Israel leave Gaza after 2005?
Ask your good friend Barack Hussein Obama. I have told you a lot of hangouts who was giving nightmares to Benjamin Netanyahu. Barack Hussein Obama. Those 8 years have been really troubled relation between Israel and USA. Israel and USA are the partners, right? But Obama has really given him the nightmares. No American president has given him the nightmares as much as Obama. And Benjamin Netanyahu has himself said that I got these nightmares and I was very difficult to pass that time. And during this tenure, this Iran deal, civilian deal, all these things were given, sir, from 4 billion to 80 billion today. Imagine if that money was not there. If China was not there, you would not have this.
Thoda clarification. 2005, it was George Bush who was the president. And see what happened, my recollection again, was that Gaza was given autonomy and it was the PLO that was supposed to be managing that. Now, what Hamas did was they destroyed PLO and they forcibly occupied Gaza. Okay, so that's why Gaza is a walled city. It is completely cordoned off. Two sides Israel, one side Egypt, and one side is the ocean, Mediterranean Sea. So this is how this has been for a long time. Now the question is, how much of a grip does Hamas have on its population? In other words, if Israel eliminates all the Hamas terrorists, what is left? Will they be able to govern themselves, or would that be partitioned between a little bit of the south part going to Egypt and the remaining staying with Israel, and Israel just says everybody, this is all completely annexed and will be ruled by Israel? We don't know how that's going to take shape. Go ahead.
Israel has to rule it. And next, in my logical sense, because as Benjamin Netanyahu said, we are going to change the geography of the Middle East. I think next logical target will be Hezbollah, and they will take out Iran. My guess, they will take out Iran. Not now. Kabhi, aaj, kal, parsu, they have to take out, because as long as Iran is there, you cannot accept peace in Middle East. You cannot have peace in Middle East. They will never let it. And I want to talk about Chinese 1 second. These Chinese were all, we have got Iran and Saudi together. We have brokered peace. We have done what United States of America could not do. Now what? Kar liya peace. Ho gaya peace. These Chinese buffoons, these 4 feet guys, jump so much. They don't understand shit about Middle East, and yet they're talking, we have got Iran and Saudis together. A new alliance has been made by China. Now where is Wang hiding? Kahan hai bhaiya? Next question.
Thank you, P. What does it feel? Why does it feel like US and Russia are taking China for a ride?
I don't know. I hope and pray it is true. What are you saying? Because, this red jihad is a reality. I've been shouting my lungs on for years. This will happen. These Chinese cannot do anything directly, but they have the money to get all these Bhikhari, bankrupt countries to do their dirty job. This is what red jihad is about.
Anshuman Singh wants to know, is China going to get most affected by this? It seems so. Europe has got aggressive and there is a change of mindset now. No more appeasement in the name of Muslim victim card.
I'm telling you, Anshuman ji, the world has lost its patience with all this. The fuse is lit. Now, will there be a catalyst to burn the fuse, or will it take some time? It is imminent. I'm telling you, the day you have more Muslim casualties, a few Muslim countries will join in. And if Iran joins in, then it will be a full and final decisive war. Iran joining in now is going to be very, very dangerous. And as long as Khomeini is there, unless and until there are 2 people who are knocked out of the scene, Khomeini and Shii, if somebody knocks them off, then world is safer. As long as these 2 people live, world is not going to be safer. I can be as direct as I can get. Khomeini and Xi Jinping.
Jayagopal Venkatraman wants to know, is it true that UAE and SA support Israel, and this is Saudi Arabia, and also warned Hamas? Will this conflict impact the state elections in India?
I think UAE has supported and Bahrain has supported. So these are pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas. They have not supported Israel. So these are somewhere in between, not talking much, but they're inclined towards this. Because that is the Saudi compulsion. I told you, MBS cannot do it. His rival camp will get all the power. And
I'm trying to get this thing confirmed. Taliban also has walked back. You know what they said, right? give us that corridor, we will march. Now they have walked back and said they are not saying, something else happened. Can you update us on what Taliban said?
Taliban said that we are walking off because we don't want to do mistakes in rebuilding Afghanistan. You know what happened this? I tell you, there was an earthquake. There are only two countries, I think Turkey and Pakistan, which sent some relief. India this time did not send any relief. India did not do anything, and nobody from the world sent the relief. Now, Talibanis know without the money and the paisa coming from the whole world and paisa coming from the kafirs, they can survive. They know it for sure. They know it for sure. And they cannot trust China. So that's why the Taliban made a statement. We don't want to do the mistakes in rebuilding Afghanistan. They realize that this is not the time. They realize the mood of the world is kind of, gone aside, and said that, and if I can, with your permission, if you look at the firepower between Christians and Muslims, and there's no match. There is no match. If you start slaughtering babies, decapitating baby heads, the world will be against you. You cannot do this. If 50-50 men gang rape a woman, and vaginas bleed more than bullet holes, the world is going to come after you. You have to pay the price. Palestine has to pay the price. Unfortunately, females are not commodities. They might be in some religions, but not in the civilized world of today. They are not commodities. Understand that. Children are not supposed to be burned alive. You cannot decapitate. You cannot burn kids alive. You cannot burn toddlers alive. You cannot cut the womb of a lady and leave the child out and cut the umbilical cord and want to die a slow death. What kind of a barbarism are we talking about? It's enough, sir. बहुत हो गया, sir. बहुत ज़्यादा.
R.K. Rao, thank you so much. Sumit ji, whatever is happening, can this be de-hyphenated from belief system?
No, it cannot be. It cannot be belief system because it is the belief system which believes in this, and world has been too much tolerant with this belief system. It is a 9/11 movement. What did America say? Either you are with us or you are with them. Trust me, it is going to be that. Either you are with Israel or you are with this Hamas. There is nothing in between, sir. And when a very genius like Prime Minister Modi takes a stand at 2:30, when the attack started at around Indian time 9-10 o'clock, by 2:30 he has taken the stand. You can understand the gravity of the situation. India was one of the first countries and one of the first Big Four countries to take a very, very direct stand. Prime Minister Modi exactly very clear in his modes. And I want to tell you, what did Benjamin Netanyahu call Prime Minister Modi for? Netanyahu doesn't report to Modi. He said, I wanted to update Prime Minister Modi. And Prime Minister Modi tweeted that to tell the world that we know what your designs are. Something was shared by Benjamin Netanyahu to Prime Minister Modi. That's why Prime Minister Modi put this tweet. He wanted to announce to all the gangs, we know what there are. And let me tell you, sir, today, left liberal gang, all the members, do you know whom they met today? They were meeting the ambassador of Palestine today. Chai pi rahe the. All the left liberal gangs were meeting the ambassador of Palestine today. Next question, Sachin.
Yes, Sumuk wants to know. Thank you, Sumuk. Hi, Sumit sir and Sree sir. My dad told me to watch your shows, and for real, it's the best thing which has happened to me watching PGurus. I'm 23 years old, and we always wait for your live to be up. I'm glad forever, sir. If you could say a hi to Mr. Praveen Choudhry. Praveen Choudhry ji, namaskar, pranam. Thanks for recommending us to your son. And listen, children, you have been fed some lies. And it's time to wake up and listen to your parents. Family is what is going to save you.
First. Family first. First. Always first. Always first. And my namaskar to Praveen Choudhry ji, and my hi to my young friend who's 23-year-old Sumuk. And Sumuk, I would request you inspire all your friends and youth to watch our channels. It's not for the TRP or the views. It is, we are doing a national service. We are not here to do anything. We are doing a national service because we want to educate you what's happening. I go on so many TV debates. I've done 5,000 TV debates, but I don't get this much of time to explain your perspective. I don't get 1 hour of talking time where can I explain you all the chains. I have to just, it's like a counter and it's a T20 match. But here I get the time. I can get all the perspectives to you. So please watch us. Please watch channels like and get your friends to watch me. My friend, that will be a big favor.
And that brings us to a close of today's session. Sumit ji, we will not be able to put the poster now. We'll do it in the Hindi because we have a time thing. We need to have a half an hour break. Clear break. Otherwise, you don't get the crowds back. So viewers, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notification. Sumit ji, you are a mine of information. Again, what we are going to do in the next half an hour is go back and update all our data. That is how
Right.
hard we are all working right now. Thanks once again. Namaskar.
Shri sir, namaskar, pranam, vanakkam, Ma Durga ki jai, and Har 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 Har
Mahadev.
Mahadev.